Welcome back. You're watching BioCell. Let's talk about the real estate space, particularly Mumbai real estate, which has seen ups and downs. Some experts believe that the market here is heating up all over again. Some experts believe that there is more to go. However, one thing's for certain, the prices are still at very, very high levels. That's Oberoi Realty. The stock's up nearly 3%. One of the better performers as far as the current market environment is concerned. And even since listing, the stock's done pretty well. Vikas Oberoi is joining us right now, the CMD at Oberoi Realty. Vikas, great having you with us. It's been a long time. I remember talking to you around the time of the IPO, and you were extremely cautious. That cautiousness still stands. I mean, you've been having a pulse on the market. Talk us about what's the company been doing, how's the market here in Mumbai right now, growth plans, and about the company per se.
Morning, Ashutosh. Many questions actually. See, the Mumbai market continues to be good, and we, as per our original plans, continue to be cautious, and want to take time. As far as buying land goes, we are obviously very cautious. We don't want to put in money that we've raised from the market in a heated environment and then bear the brunt. So we continue to be cautious.
Okay, then let's get down to the basics here. Talk about the company per se. You've just signed an agreement with Samsung as a contractor of Worli project. Talk about the project that you're planning to bring in. What's the size? What's the scale? How much are you investing in this particular project? And secondly, some of your other luxury projects which you're currently undertaking, what's the traction on those projects?
Well, this Worli project of ours is a mixed-use development. We have a hotel component, we've got office, and we've got branded residencies here. Each apartment would be about 9,500 to 10,000 square feet. This is a 371 meter tall building, and hence we've got Samsung C&T to come and build this. They are the experts. These are the same guys who build the Burj Khalifa. They've also built the Petrona Towers. So they actually hold a record of doing the tallest building and most complicated structures. So the entire building is programmed to be constructed in almost about 55 months, if I'm not mistaken, give or take 2 months here and there. And it's over 3 million square feet of constructible area.
Right. Let's talk about the realizations per se. The project that you're currently talking about, some of your older projects, what's the kind of realization that you're witnessing on a sequential basis also between last quarter, the last couple of quarters and this one? Are you witnessing some signs of a slowdown as far as average realizations are concerned?
In fact, see, there are two things in a slowdown that you're probably talking about. One should see either sales dropping or, one has to drop prices to attract sales going forward. One thing for sure is that we are not able to increase price. In a market probably a year earlier, if the volumes that I see today, which continue to be there, so this probably answers your earlier question that whether there are volumes or no. Yes, volumes continue to be there. There is obviously pressure on the price, but this pressure is more to not increasing the price. But I don't see a depletion of price as such. And this probably may be true only, or maybe true to some areas, and one could be ours, where maybe Goregaon has hit a tipping point. We have a shopping mall which is doing very well. We have a 5-star hotel here, we have offices here, and we have an international school. So this area per se has come into its own, and people are interested in moving here as well. So I don't see pressure. I don't even see volume depleting, but yeah, as a company, we are not increasing our price because the environment probably does not support so.
So sticking on with the issue of pricing, particularly for the market of Mumbai, do you think the pricing is now coming near to the peak levels that we saw earlier, or do you think there is still some more headway as far as pricing? I mean, players like you can still play with pricing?
Well, the idea is not about increasing price. What one has to really look at is what velocity are you able to generate when you're increasing price. We as a company are very conscious of the fact that we need to get volumes also into place. It's not about maximizing the last buck on an apartment, but also look at how many apartments you are able to sell at a particular price. So the current scenario is such that one cannot increase prices, I feel.
Okay. Staying with the macro theme here, we recently have seen the CCI, the Competition Commission of India, becoming very, very strict as far as real estate companies are concerned. One of the large companies was actually fined a hefty sum for using its monopoly position when dealing with buyers. Is that a major concern right now? I mean, in the past, we have seen instances of home buyers approaching authorities saying that the players tend to use their monopolistic power in a way. How concerned are you about these developments?
Again here, Bombay is governed by that MOFA, and that act clearly takes care of the kind of document a developer can have with a flat buyer. Anything over and above that MOFA does not permit has to be tested in law. So really, one can't apply the Competition Commission's order unilaterally to across India and then make it applicable. But our experts are reading that, and we are also trying to see what effect will it have and how going forward will one need to design a document. And I, for one, have been advocating for what you call a regulator to come in play. So we are more than happy if the regulator is in play and he decides the rules of the game instead of each party guessing what the rules of the game would be and then testing it in law.
Okay, let me just digress a little bit from that. Let's talk about general environment right now. You talked about pricing, you talked about demand. What's the impact of rising interest rates? I mean, there are expectations that there could be more rate hikes going forward. Are actual home buyers deferring their purchases in anticipation of perhaps at some point of time, maybe a year or year and a half later on, interest rates may cool down? Are you witnessing that right now?
Well, firstly, to answer your first question, that interest rates aren't really going up anymore, I feel, and I at least hope so. Having said that, again, people in India, by and large, are conservative as far as borrowing goes. From my own record, I see that, most of our home buyers put in their own money. Even if they take debt, it's for a smaller component of the purchase price. And this is not a very long-term debt. People intend to pay this back in like 4 and 5 years. And here again, the Indian buyer treats buying a house almost like an investment. He does not look at this as an expense. So I don't really see that, home loan rates going up will deter people. And the other upside, which is different from the Western world, is that we in fact have almost nil foreclosures as far as home loans are concerned. So which also is a very big positive. And there is very little worry for banks to, react on anything like that.
Okay, let's come back on the company per se. Cash reserves of 1,560 crores. I can't recall any other company in the market right now which has so much of cash and have managed to keep their books as clean as you have. How do you plan to deploy so much of cash? Would it be to take in properties which are, let's say, distressed assets? Would you be looking at augmenting your land bank? Perhaps looking at cities beyond Mumbai, let's say Delhi, NCR, tier 2, tier 3 cities? I'm just trying to get a sense, how do you plan to deploy this huge amount of cash that you have with you?
Ashu, we are a Bombay-centric real estate company. We want to continue to focus in Bombay. This cash will obviously go in buying land, increasing our land bank, and we are looking at the right deals. It's not that we want a distressed deal. We want a deal where our company can make reasonable margins. After investing, we have a set hurdle rate. If any investment passes through that, we are more than happy to actually go about buying land. So it's not that we are averse or we are afraid of taking any call on that account.
But some of your contemporaries, Vikas, have actually kept a very unique model. For instance, Godrej Properties follows an asset-light model. They come into agreements with parties, with contractors for joint development of projects. Is that something you might also look at?
We are already doing a joint venture. In fact, this Worli project is a joint venture. We are more than happy doing joint ventures. As a company, we have cash. We want to deploy that cash. As a company, we've got a lot of energy as well. So we can do more projects. It does not really matter whether projects come out of buying the project or it comes out as a joint venture. We are happy doing either or rather.
Okay, this was about residential. Let's talk about the commercial real estate because the pickup in commercial real estate has not been as fast as what we have witnessed in the residential side. Let's talk about that on-ground report of what's happening on the commercial space. You have a couple of properties here in Mumbai as well, rentals, leases. How's that panning out?
Well, here again, I would say that a lot of developers who had initially planned for commercial buildings have scrapped the plans and now put that into residential. So this in turn will reduce the supply of commercial space available, and in turn probably whatever is left will obviously see a higher demand. So I don't really see commercial space also coming down in any way. Any developer who has the bandwidth or the cash in bank to build the project can easily expect rentals to be stable.
Vikas, great having you with us. Pleasure, an absolute pleasure. That's Vikas Oberoi, the CMD at Oberoi Realty, talking about not only the company per se, but the entire Mumbai real estate market, and of course the company as well. One of the most efficient as far as the cash deployment is concerned. 1560 crores worth of cash on books and negligible debt is what they have right now. The stock's up nearly 3% at this point of time. We'll take a break right now. We'll come back, discuss more stocks with our experts.